What's up guys, and welcome back to another episode of the Summer Career Mode. It is episode number 48, no, 49, returning today, one away from 50, man, this has been such a class save for me, really enjoyed it, and today returning with more big games in the Premier League on the back of our win against Fulham as you remain top of the table. We had the Champions League last 16, both legs, first away in Spain and at home against Sevilla, and I believe we're going to have to draw for the FA Cup last 16 first as well, as we aim to get back to our third final in a row. Yep, there we go, and we've been drawn against, there it is. There it is. No Reading fiddling the draws this time. It's on camera. Chelsea away at the Bridge as we'll face last year's winners in a repeat of last year's final. Okay, alright. Chelsea at the Bridge. Bring them on. Not an EFL side, Doxy boy. You're not making it through this time. Sorry, playing that game today as well. And just before we do dive into the first game as well, we've got a bid for Amdouni. It's from Leipzig. This one is an interesting one because if I was going to sell him somewhere, like I said before, a European powerhouse, sure. Leipzig won the title, I think it was back in season 1, and then won it back to back. And of course, they have a player that we want to sign, and that is of course the Reading Academy graduate Michael Elise. So if they are willing to do a straight swap for the former Royal, I would be okay with that to go through in the summer, but yeah, it's not going to happen. So with that being the case, like I said, Amdouni, he's under contract, still got 18 months, so yeah, I don't need to sell, not until the summer at least. Right, first of several games today then. Aston Villa at home right now, 4 clear of Man City with a slight worse goal difference record, but with 15 games to go, destiny is in our own hands. Win them all, we'll be champions. Obviously easier said than done, but let's start off here with the 3 points and keep our unbeaten run going. Come on, you Royals. Yep, 6 games in a row without loss now, dating back to that Chelsea defeat here in Berkshire. And you know, I said we started the season off with a loss to West Ham away, and then we didn't lose again for the entirety of the first half of the season. So we had that loss to Chelsea on the first game of the second half of the season. If we don't lose again, we'll be champions. So yeah, what do I always say? Even if you had a bad start, always a chance to turn the tide. And that's the message Aston Villa will be receiving from Unai Emery on the touchline. 1-0 up so early on. I'm aware that I talk like a LinkedIn CEO. Oh, as Owen Haynes goes closer in the halfway line there. That's probably the closest I've had in the save so far. I just didn't dip enough. But to me, I tell you why. It's because A, I'm fascinated by psychology and winning cultures and mindset and stuff like that. But also because when I was younger, I wish someone would have been imparting words of wisdom like this to me. I never had this. I never had someone that would give me insight and lessons to learn, experience to be gained from setbacks and so on, and how to reframe your mind that way. I never had that when I was younger. I really wish someone would have been able to have done this for me. As a Spreer rips in the second, that had so much shot power, and Reading go 2-0 up. So I know sometimes again it does sound like I'm basically posting something for LinkedIn. For those of you of a certain age and use LinkedIn, you'll know what I'm referring to here. But yeah, it's just something that I wish when I was younger, when I was a teenager, I would have been able to gain insight from. My young years were amongst the toughest of my life, no doubt about that. And I have what you call different challenges now in adulthood. But as a youngster, it was tough times. Like, it was really, really tough times, both academically, not a smart kid, so school wasn't the best for me. Frankly, I didn't really have like major bullying problems or anything like that, as Anderson makes it free and Reading are running rampant here 29 minutes in. But certainly my home life was tough, very, very tough. No doubt about that. And personally, things weren't great. So my younger years were really tough, and I didn't really have any way to reframe my mind. I just could only see the situation as it was, which was, for the most part, majoritively negative. Being able to have reframed my mind like I do now as an adult when I'm going through tough times or tough moments, whether it be professionally in my career or personally, romantically, whatever, I can reframe my mind and look back on experiences and most crucially as well, be able to change the narrative, if not the actual situation itself. As a kid, that would have been invaluable to me. As a Spreer just couldn't get away, but yeah, that's why I just like to talk about it, really. If it can help any of my young kings and queens out, believe me, I'm gonna do it. Well, I said at the start of the episode that 15 wins in a row to close the season out with TS champions. Actually, I got it wrong. It's 14 wins we need, but now it's 13 wins. Yep, first down of 14 wins in order to win back-to-back league titles. And that was one of the most controlled wins of the season now. It took an early 3-goal lead in 30 minutes and then just passed the ball around. Sevilla on Tuesday night next away in Spain, though. That's not going to be as easy this one, that's for sure. Yep, following game, and I am expecting this to be much tougher. Sevilla might be having a really poor season domestically right now down the bottom of the table in La Liga, but still a really solid side. We know they're the Europa League champs, but this is the Champions League first ever knockout round tie in CL history for Reading. Super buzzing for it, but I do feel we are probably slight favourites, even though the teams are quite evenly matched in terms of rating, because of the fact we're having a much better domestic season than they are. So let's prove that form continues to be OP across the world and not just within the league you're managing in. Come on, you Royals. I don't actually know whether form is... Oh! Anderson shot blocked. Was that a pen? Oh, no way. What's he giving that for there? How is that a pen? 14 minutes in, Anderson tripped by Barr, the right back, but no way is that a pen. Ah, oh, come on. I think that's soft. I think that's really, really soft in my opinion. Yeah, I mean, we had one earlier this season with the Haaland swipe. That was a pen in my opinion. This one, no, I don't think so. So I guess he chips one down the middle there. Yes, he makes contact after the ball's being released, but he's just trying to block the shot and the follow-through catches him, but it's never a pen in my book. But if it goes in, it goes in, and it does indeed. And Dooney with the opener. Reading have the lead, but that's soft. That's really, really soft. We've got away with that. Back in the very early days of my YouTube career, when I had a penalty like that, which to me was just not a pen. I mean, you can make a case for it, don't get me wrong, but I don't know where it's because of like the era I grew up in, but in my opinion, that's not a pen. But when I would get a pen like that, I used to like intentionally miss it. And at first, people were like, "Oh, you know, fair play, like I respect that." And then I noticed a shift in the comments, and then people just didn't like it, and they were like, "Why are you doing that? You know, refereeing mistakes are part of the game and so on." And I get that argument as well. But I was trying to think, well, how do I keep everyone happy? Do you know what I mean? That's always been my big problem. I'm a real people pleaser, and I'm always trying to do, you know, keep everyone as happy as I can. I was thinking, how can I keep everyone happy? So I adopted this new way of doing it. It's like I'll chip the ball. If you chip the ball and the keeper stands down the middle, obviously it's an easy claim. And he's not gonna. Oh, good stop, Gavin Bazunu. Fluff a chip down the middle. You might be able to blast it in down the middle, but he wouldn't say a chip down the middle. And it seems like that's the best way to do things now. Any debatable penalty, I just chip it now. And people don't seem to have as much of an issue with it now. It's a nice ball freed up by Sowen. Brian Mbuemo's through. Couldn't bring him down. Blasts in the leveller, and the ex-Brentford man gives Sevilla that equaliser. And really, let's be honest here, that is deserved on the back of our controversial penalty, to say the least. 1-1. Whilst they might be struggling domestically this year in this European tie, it's been a tough first half against them, back on level terms. I think we are tied at 1-1. Heading back to Berkshire. I fancy our chances of beating them in a Medeski, don't get me wrong. Yes, winning Belieber, and Dooney, great touch, gotta finish. Never gonna miss. Yeah, I don't think we've seen form be as overpowered in this tie, so I guess that probably answers the question. Form doesn't really have an effect on your opponent if they're struggling in a league outside of your own one, but we're in great form right now. And we might have got lucky for the first goal, nothing lucky about that, and Dooney belted in, and Reading back in front. Almost there, come on, don't throw, it's winning Vandenberg, don't throw away this first leg result, and we are going to be okay. With Belieber to Nibs off the bench. He'll find McGreer, got a manly overlapping Reggie Bond. He says, off you go, Agent Bond. You got the pace. Go to the corner, go to the corner, go to the corner. There we go, wise from Reggie. As we're going to see out a first leg win. Oh, it's a man free there. It's Gurev coming in. Gurev. Oh! What a tie-changing moment that could have been. If we go 2 goals up going back to Berkshire, it's basically tie over. Instead, we hold a slender 1-goal lead. And we only technically got the win because of that debatable penalty early doors as well. Tie's not over. Sevilla showed me enough bite in that game to be taking them seriously in the second leg as well. We're favourites to go through, but it's not over, only half time. Staying away from home, but now back to matters in the Premier League. Next up, bottom playing host to top. Sheffield United at Bramall Lane aim for another big 3 points to keep Man City at bay. Come on, you Royals. Nibs out to Dennis. And, oh, I did wonder if that follow-through was going to result in an injury there. Harvey goes down and stays down. And I think it might be a bruise or it might be slightly longer. It might be a win, it might be a loss, you never know. But, yeah, I'll keep you posted on that, I think. Oh, great ball through. As Amdouni fires wide. I think that might be a 3-month injury there. I'll keep you posted. It's like one of those Magic Johnson quotes. Well, if you shoot, sometimes you'll score and sometimes you'll miss, you know. Thanks, cheers, like, appreciate the insight there. I was like, Doxy boy level of insight as Damien Downs gets away and is denied by Bennett. As the compatriots go one-on-one, but it remains at 0-0. Wait, Damien Downs is American, isn't he? Pretty sure he is. Anyway, still goalless, 27 minutes in. As the Blades look to get a shock lead here, and almost did, just wide. 22 minutes to go, still tied at 0-0. And don't get me wrong, as Damien Downs is denied by the skipper, we know that these games can be, and often are, the hardest games to win, but it doesn't make it any easier to know you've dropped 2 points in a game like this. Sure, you can say handicap if you believe it exists, I do. Complacency, tiredness, whatever, but it's still, no matter how you look at it, a really disappointing slip-up as Espria plays a brilliant through ball. There's Zeki Amdouni, finding space, finding a teammate. Harvey Nibs couldn't pull the trigger, and the Blades will get it clear. There's only 14 to go. Wow, that is as disappointing as it gets. Goalless draw. Oh, hang on. Oh, ref! Come on! Still, it's not good enough for me. Like, I could blame the referee, but A, he's well within his rights to blow for full time there. The allocated minutes have been played, and B, Doxy boy, you had 92 minutes. You cannot blame the referee for not allowing extra 10 seconds, mate. You had the time, you didn't use it. That is just such a disappointing slip-up. We know these games can be the toughest to win, but it doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. That's 2 points draw. What a terrible, terrible draw. And with Man City beating Brentford away at the G-Tech as well, that now cuts the gap to, I think, 2 points. So, yeah, right before that FA Cup last 16 game, points dropped, gap cut shorter, and they got the better goal difference record as well. So, man, oh man, what a bottle. With 13 to go, this title race is far from over. Right, let's just move straight past it. Following game, repeat of last year's FA Cup final, Chelsea at the Stamford Bridge, at Stamford Bridge in West London, as we aim to get back into the quarterfinals for what would be a third successive year, going for yet another final place this season. The holders away in their own backyard aim to put it out on the back of a shocking goalless draw against Sheffield United. Come on, you Royals. You know, recently we've been talking about changes to modern football and, you know, things that I like and things that I don't like. Probably about 50-50, I'd say. But you know what, one thing which I know this is going to sound a bit bizarre, and it actually sounds a bit, I don't know, counterintuitive, probably opposite to what you'd expect from me here, is that I talked about how the FA Cup has sort of been devalued over the years. I'll tell you one thing I do like is that now the last 16 is always scheduled on midweek, so you have like a game Tuesday, Wednesday. Oh, great build-up. And possibly there's a tie. Possibly a tie on the Thursday as well. I actually quite like that. You know, last 16, tight round. You know, obviously, again, you get through, you're into the course, obviously. As we see another injury there, as all the knocks are coming through now. This time Owen Haynes go down. I quite like the last 16 in midweek. Midweek football is nice for those when you get back from work, get back from the gym, whatever. And when it's a last 16 tie, I think that's kind of cool. I like that. It's a change which, again, back in the day wasn't the case, but I quite like it. Yeah, I quite like it, you know, when like those weeks are absolutely dragging. It's like, you know, Wednesday night and you think, oh my goodness, I've still got 2 more days of this, you know. And you just think, you know, just got out from the gym, you know, got a meal, you just think, you know, what can I watch? Oh, cool, Chelsea Man City, FA Cup last 16, that'll be good. It's like a nice sort of reward for, you know, still getting through the week, you know. It's a great ball to Dennis. Got to take advantage here. Someone in the middle, please. Who else but Amdouni? Who else? Zeki always seems to score against Chelsea. He's done it again. Amdouni with the opener. 1-0 Reading. Second half underway, 4 after the restart, as Chelsea look to get back in this tie. Haven't really caused a problem here. With Owen still carrying that knock, you'd think they'd be targeting Mr. Haynes, but instead, as he nods it back to Bennett, it's been very calm so far. Very, very calm indeed. And I often say this is Chelsea right now in a nutshell in this kind of Todd Bowley era. You don't know what Chelsea side you're going to get. Like, sometimes they just go at you and just dominate a game, as Gary O'Neill's Wolves side found out recently. And then other times they just don't really get going. And this is one of those games here. Such an inconsistent side at the moment. And thankfully in this tie here, we've got the Chelsea who haven't really been at their best. As Asprilla gets away. Yasser Asprilla for 2! Off the post, but the rebound, no! Keeps didn't really know anything about it, but he does make a crucial save. Still 1-0 and Chelsea still in the tie. Cole Palmer dinks one, headed on. Oh, Bennett, what a save. Haven't really had a problem all game long so far, until we did. And it's the American to the rescue. 10 to go, almost there. As we look for... That's going to go behind for another corner. Amends to be made on the back of that draw to Sheffield United and avenging our demons from the final last year. That's a terrible delivery by Palmer. Shirkin has time to... You know it's a bad delivery when the defender's got time... Oh, what a ball. The defender's got time to control it. And... Oh, it's got to be. It's got to be. It's got to be. It's not. Come on, seriously. Still, it's not going to matter. We've got 1 minute of stoppage time to play, and unless Chelsea can get the ball forward, which we won't allow them to do so by blocking off the route, that will do it. Amends made, demons avenged, and Reading through to the last 8 of the FA Cup. As our progress continues as we search for a three-peat of FA Cup finals and reclaiming the trophy we lost last season to these guys, Chelsea, as well. Let's see what we've got in the draw and how bad the injury is to Haynes as well. Yeah, we'll skip the post-match interview and get straight to the main menu. I don't know if you guys are the same as me, but I often make sure if I've lost a game, I'll do the post-match interview, but if I've won, I'll often skip it. I don't know why, just to hopefully give morale a little bit of a boost, if you will. But as we go into the quarterfinals, a couple of championship sides still remaining, and we'll be taking on... Well, they are a championship side right now, but they're definitely feeling like a Premier League side. Newcastle United away at St James's is an EFL side by definition, but don't be fooled. That is still going to be a very even tie against the Magpies there. Oh, and how bad was the injury for Owen? Oh, thank goodness for that. 5 days. 5 days. We've had so many knocks this season, and I've got to say, I really like that. I feel we've done a great job with the injury slides for the past couple of seasons, man. Like we had tons and tons of knocks. Not too many what you call long-term injuries, but a couple here and there. But for a team like ours that are playing in European football, trying to go far in the cup as well, it's realistic and it makes sense. I think I'll say that Newcastle game for the next episode, but we're returning with this one now on the back of that win against Chelsea and aim to return to winning ways in the league as well. The gap cut to 2 in the table as Manchester United host Man City and a Manchester derby there. If Ten Hag's side can do us a massive favour, I'd appreciate it. And most crucially, we've got to do our job and let's get back to winning ways. I still feel like it's mostly a 2-horse race. Let's ensure it stays that way, but we stay as the horse in front. West Ham at home, come on you Royals. You know, something I haven't really discussed this season is something which I'm reluctant to, but that is, have we got a shot at the treble? I mean, really? First of a year in the Champions League as Shirkin and Asprilla double up there on Mohamed. But first of a year in the CL, but we're 90 minutes away from a place in the quarterfinals. FA Cup, again, going into that quarterfinal tie against the Magpies. Yes, it'll be an even tie, but I'd still put us as favourites against what is now a Championship side. And as for the Premier League, well, we've got destiny in our own hands in the league as well. Win our remaining games, win the Championship. So... I don't know. I think we've got a chance, but it's a slim chance. It's an outside chance. Cater almost scored an incredibly acrobatic effort as it remains at 0-0. Domestic double was my target this year, though, so let's take it in stages. I haven't won a domestic double since the Savers began, so listen, treble, yeah, there's an outside shot, but let's focus on the task at hand. That's staying top of the table and hopefully getting back to the FA Cup final for the 3rd year in a row. As Asprilla even does really well there. I've got Amdouni with me. There's Cater. There's McGree. There's not the opener. Andrew with a good save. And West Ham keeping us at bay for now. Oh, mate, you're never going to lose that aerial duel. Vandenberg. He's just a giant. That's a great ball through. Anderson. Asprilla. Finally clips it in off the post. to give us the lead. He's not having the same season he did last year. We know he'll never have another one like that. Streets won't forget, but he's still come up with some important goals, including there, right before the break, breaking the deadlock. Well, not the most... Oh, action-packed games, but we'll take it. And it's going to be back to wins in the league on the back of the slip up to the Blades. As Anderson plays a great through ball. Amdouni with a great touch. And the finish goes over. We'll be alright. That'll do it, I think. It is going to be back to winning ways in the league. And to be the unbeaten run extends as well since that loss to Chelsea on match day 20 as well. Reading still have destiny in their own hands. Oh no. One chance, one shot, one goal. Back-to-back draws, 2 points taken from 6. Treble, Doxy boy? Really? Mate, you'll be lucky to win 1 this season. Throwaway, absolute throwaway. Right, we'll do 2 more and stop short of that FA Cup quarter-final away at St James's Park. Next up, Sevilla in the last 16 of the Champions League, leading by a goal, but after only 1 win in 3, and starting to stumble a little bit. Could do with a big win here. Not just to progress through, but to get our confidence back as well. Sevilla in the second leg in Berkshire. A lot to change to the team as well due to fitness reasons. Let's make sure we make it through tonight and don't bottle it once again. Come on, you Royals. Yeah, I feel confident as Tyler keeps staying in play. Got some backup players out there. CJ Egan Riley, Rodriguez, the young Portuguese winger I like. Obafemi leading like he go nibs. But I feel confident. And one of them is just giving us the opener. I like this kid. I like him. And he's just got me, I think, his second goal of this season. Rodriguez with the finish. Reading lead 90 minutes here. We're making it through tonight. I'm sure of it. Into the final 6.5 minutes. We're basically there. Haven't really been under any pressure all game long. And as Harvey finds space, that'll do it. That will do it, and it is game. From League 1 to the Champions League knockout rounds. He's been with us since the beginning of the save, and I said it. I want him to stay until he retires, man. When you do an RTG, you know the team you start off with, very few players are going to survive your entire career with that club. I identified a couple of players that I definitely want to stay with me. Harvey was one of them, and he's just ensured we are into the quarterfinals. Reading making it through to the last 8. Let's see who we got. Yep, I believe we will see the draw directly afterwards, I think, because the last 16, the ties get played over the course of, like, you'd have one section on one week and then the other section on the other. I'm pretty sure we were the last ties. Oh no, we were the first. I thought we were the last ones. So we won't see who we've got then in the quarterfinals. We'll have to wait and see for the next episode. In that case then, let's just dive into our final game today, Bristol City, and we'll find out together at the start of the next episode who we've got in the quarterfinals. We're taking on the Robins here, heading into this one. We've now gone 3 points behind Man City after they won back-to-back against Manchester United and Arsenal as well. And on the back of back-to-back draws for us, we've surrendered what was a 4-point gap, and now we sit 3 points behind. Only where we go top is with a big winner here in Berkshire, not just to win, but to go top on goal difference as well. 12 games to go, this the game in hand, but quite frankly, we've got to win to close today's episode off. Let's do it. Come on, you Royals. Treble, honestly. It always seems to be the way, man. As soon as I mention it, that's when things start to fall apart. And well, we have talked about this before. It's why you shouldn't really be focusing too much on the end product, or the end destination, if you will. Just focus on the task at hand, as Anderson is denied early to keep it at 0-0. If you do all the tasks in front of you in order, eventually you'll get to the end without even realising you were doing it. And that is always the best way, at least in my opinion. Of course, have the end goal in the back of your mind, but don't pay that much attention to it. Just focus on that task at hand. And the task at hand today is a return to winning ways in the Premier League. Good start, only a matter of time. This should be it. No, shot blocked and still 0-0. Come on. Anderson, good hustle. And Femi through the gap. There we go. That's got to be one. Okay, that's fine. If you haven't got a clear opening, just recycle possession. Like, you know, forcing it through, it works at times, but when you're playing against the AR, especially on Ultimate, like, it's so hard to thread the needle because their positional sense, especially when you're not on the counter and just moving the ball around, is normally so good. So if that killer ball isn't on, or you haven't got like a Xavi-esque player that can play those through balls through, or an Iniesta-type player, it's sometimes best just to say, do you know what, I can't find an opening, so I'll just keep hold of it. And there's nothing wrong with just saying, I'll wait for the next chance. You know what I mean? You haven't got to always look for that killer through ball. You'll find an opening eventually. Sometimes you just got to go backwards or sideways. Yeah, I discussed this recently. Like, I think we saw last weekend Casemiro gets so much criticism for his game against Liverpool, and I think understandably so. Don't get me wrong, I'm not going to try and defend him, but he was just constantly trying to work the ball forward and sometimes surrendering possession that way when the ball wasn't on. It's okay to say there's not an opening there, so I'm going to play it back or I'm going to play it to the side. Just keeping hold of the ball, it's never a bad thing. You know, if you've got the ball, Louis van Gaal style, talking to Manchester United, your opponents can't hurt you. And Dooney says, we are going to go 2-0 up now, and that is going to do it, no doubt. 55 minutes in, that is game, and Reading returning to winning ways. That's on Dooney's all day. And I think we still need another 2 goals in order to go top on goal difference, so Anderson's on. Well, there's one. There's one. 22 minutes to go. Pick it up, and okay, don't pick it up. That's not going to count for 2. But I still think we need another goal to go top. Is 3-0 going to do it? No, I don't think it is. I think we'll be behind on goals scored. Need another one. I might get one last chance here as Anduni wins that header. Gurev, Keita, Anderson, who's been running the show out there. Yes! Come on! 2 minutes to go. Exactly what we needed. Exactly what we've got. Not just a return to winning ways in the league, but a big thumping win as well against the Robins. Wilhelmer running the show this afternoon, and he's just wrapped it up. Reading are going to end the episode off top of the table on goal difference. So tight, man, honestly. But Treble, yeah, not going to give it much attention, but we have a chance. That's all I'll say. We've got a chance. And that'll do it for today's episode of the Summer Career Mode as well, guys. So big thank you for watching. Really hope you have enjoyed. If you have, then please do drop a like. Much love to you all. Have a fantastic day. I will return in the next one with more big games in the Premier League. Aim to stay top of the table by the skin of our teeth. The draw for the Champions League quarter-final and the tie against whoever it will be. And the FA Cup quarter-final tour against Newcastle United at St James's. Aim to make Wembley once again. Have a great day, guys. Much love. And I'll see you for the next episode very soon.